లైవ్ స్టార్ట్ అయింది. మీకు ఆ లింక్ కూడా షేర్ చేస్తాను యూట్యూబ్. డన్ అయిపోయింది. లింక్ పెడతాను. మేడం వాట్సాప్ చేయాలా?
దేనికి? యూట్యూబ్ లింక్ కా?
యూట్యూబ్ జస్ట్ మీకు చెక్ చేసుకోవడానికి. నేను కూడా చెక్ చేస్తున్నాను ప్యారలల్ గా. జస్ట్ లింక్ ప్రాపర్ గా వర్క్ అవుతుందని చెక్ చేస్తాను.
అంటే యూట్యూబ్ వచ్చింది అంటే ఇప్పుడు నేను మనం అడ్మిట్ అయినాక ఆటోమేటిక్ గా యూట్యూబ్ కి వెళ్ళిపోతారా వాళ్ళు?
yes ma'am. యాక్చువల్లీ ఏంటంటే మనకి మీరు 100 కౌంట్ అని చెప్పారు కదా.
అవును.
100 మెంబర్స్ తర్వాత ఇంకెవరైనా యూట్యూబ్ లింక్ షేర్ చేస్తే అక్కడ చూసుకుంటారు. అక్కడ మనకి కామెంట్స్ అక్కడ పెడతారు. మనకు కామెంట్స్ కానీ వాళ్ళు మనతో మాట్లాడలేరు. సో జస్ట్ కామెంట్స్ చూడొచ్చు అంతే. జూమ్ ఏంటంటే 2 వేస్ ఉంటుంది. మీరు మాట్లాడొచ్చు, వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడొచ్చు. సో యూట్యూబ్ ఓన్లీ వ్యూయర్స్ ఉంటారు, కామెంట్స్ చేస్తారు అంతే. సో మోర్ దెన్ 100 ఉన్న వాళ్ళకి లింక్ పంపించేస్తే సరిపోతుంది.
ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు పంపించిన లింక్ నేను పెట్టాలి కదా?
ఒకసారి చెక్ చేయండి, ప్రాపర్ గా వర్క్ అవుతుంది. ఇంకేస్ ఏమైనా ఇష్యూస్ ఉన్నా మీరు అడగండి. వాయిస్ ప్రాపర్ గా ఉందా, వినిపిస్తుందా, వీడియో వస్తుందా, ఏమైనా ఇష్యూస్ ఉంటే నేను చెక్ చేస్తాను.
అవునా? మరి అసలు యాక్చువల్గా అతను జాయిన్ అవ్వట్లేదు. ఎవరైతే గ్రూప్ మెంబర్ ఉన్నాడో ఆయన ఏదో ప్రేయర్ లో ఉన్నాడంట. ఆయనకి యూట్యూబ్ లింక్ పంపించేసి ఆయన్నే గ్రూప్ లో పెట్టుకోవాలి. మన గ్రూప్ లేదు.
అంటే మనం మేబీ ఏమైనా ఇష్యూస్ ఉంటే సాల్వ్ చేయడానికి వాయిస్ ప్రాపర్ ఉన్న, వీడియో ప్రాపర్ లేకుండా ఒకసారి ఏమైనా చెక్ చేసుకోవడానికి ఉంటుంది అంతే. సో నేను ప్యారలల్ గా చెక్ చేస్తున్నా, ప్రాపర్ గానే వర్క్ అవుతుంది. వేరే మొబైల్ లో చెక్ చేస్తే ప్రాపర్ గా ఉంది.
ఇప్పుడు యూట్యూబ్ లో ఎంత మంది అంటే అంత మంది జాయిన్ అవ్వచ్చు కదా?
అన్లిమిటెడ్ మేడం. 1000 2000 జాయిన్ అవ్వచ్చు. ఇష్యూ ఏం లేదు.
ఓకే ఓకే. ఇప్పుడు నాది వాయిస్ వినిపిస్తుందా?
వినిపిస్తుంది.
మంచిగా గట్టిగానే ఉందా?
క్లియర్ గా ఉంది మేడం. వాయిస్ మనం మాట్లాడేంత యూట్యూబ్ లో కొంచెం డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వస్తుంది చూడండి. కొంచెం డిలే ఉంటుంది మేడం. మనం మాట్లాడేది అంటే జూమ్ లో ఫస్ట్ వచ్చేస్తుంది. యూట్యూబ్ లో ఏంటంటే 2-3 సెకండ్స్ డిలే వస్తుంది. అంటే వెంటనే రెస్పాన్స్ అనేది ఉంటుంది. ఎందుకంటే ఫస్ట్ మన జూమ్ లో రికార్డ్ అవ్వాలి, జూమ్ లో నుండి మళ్ళీ యూట్యూబ్ కి వెళ్ళాలి, యూట్యూబ్ లో రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అవ్వాలంటే 3 సెకండ్స్ 4 సెకండ్స్ డిలే ఉంటుంది. అలా డిలే వస్తుంది.
అవునా? ఇప్పుడు దాకైతే 77 మందే ఉన్నారు. నాకు 85 ఉంటే మళ్ళీ 77 అయింది. ఎందుకో ఏమో తెలియదు. చూద్దాం. 100 దాటితే ఆటోమేటిక్ గా వెళ్ళిపోతుంది అన్నావు కదా నువ్వే. ఇంకొక 10 minutes ఉండగలుగుతావా?
యాక్చువల్గా 100 వరకు ఆటోమేటిక్ కాదు మేడం. 100 వరకు లిమిట్ గా మ్యాక్స్
99 లిమిట్.
99 లిమిట్. 99 తర్వాత ఎవరు జాయిన్ అవ్వడం ట్రై చేసినా అవ్వరు. సో రిమైనింగ్ వాళ్ళ కోసం ఏంటంటే అది యూట్యూబ్ లింక్ షేర్ చేస్తే అయిపోతుంది. ఇన్ కేసు ఇక్కడ జాయిన్ అవ్వడానికి ఇబ్బంది పడే వాళ్ళ కోసం యూట్యూబ్ లింక్ పెడితే వాళ్ళు యూట్యూబ్ లో చూస్తారు అంతే. ఓకే. ఓకే. సో ఓకే. పెరుగు లాస్ట్ కొంచెం ఒక మిగతా పెరుగు మిగతా ఉడుకుతుంది. మేము కొంచెం పని ఉంది, లైవ్ స్ట్రీమ్ చేస్తున్నా. సో కొంచెం పని ఉంది, అయిపోగానే స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం. మేము కొంచెం పని ఉంది, లైవ్లో చేస్తాము. పని ఉంది, అయిపోగానే
Okay, Abin, you are there? Hello? Abin?
Hello?
పని ఉంది, అయిపోగానే
Okay, Abin, you are there? Hello? I have admitted you.
Yeah. I'm admitted. I checked. My wife side.
Oh.
I'm in prayer, ma'am.
Okay, you are not, that's what you are not responding. I got it.
Okay.
Now I'll admit everyone, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Disturbing factor.
ભગવાન જવાનું પણ જવા તેમ જવાનું એટલે વજન લઈને થોડી ઉતરી જાય એમને દાડદા થોડીક આગળ ક્યાં છે પાથરી તો બરોબર તો છે તો પાથરી
బాలమనే ఫోన్ అయ్యో లోపల డోర్ పెట్టుకో 3 months. బాలమని సోనియా లోపల డోర్ పెట్టుకో 3 months. బాలమని సోనియా హలో
యా రాజశేఖర్
మ్యామ్.
100 దాటింది కదా, ఏం చేయాలి?
సో వీళ్ళకి డైరెక్ట్ యూట్యూబ్ లింక్ ఇచ్చేసి సరిపోతుంది మ్యామ్. వాళ్ళు అందులో చూసుకుంటారు. జస్ట్ ఒక 3 seconds డిలే ఉంటుంది.
ఎక్కడ యూట్యూబ్ లింక్ ఎందులో వేయాలి?
సో వీళ్ళకి గ్రూప్ ఎక్కడ జాయిన్ అయ్యారు, వాళ్ళకి ఏమైనా గ్రూప్ ఉంది మేడం?
ఉంది
పార్టిసిపెంట్స్ కి
ఉంది.
ఇప్పుడు ఎస్ మ్యామ్, అందులో
ఉంది
షేర్ చేస్తే వాళ్ళు అక్కడ చూస్తారు. ఒక 3 seconds డిలే ఉంటుంది అంతే.
సరే. ఇక్కడ ఇంకా అడ్మిట్ కాలేరు.
ఓకే. సో వీళ్ళకి డైరెక్ట్ యూట్యూబ్ లింక్ ఇచ్చేసి సరిపోతుంది. జస్ట్ ఒక 3 seconds ఉంటుంది. మ్యామ్ చెప్పండి. ఆ, మనం ఏమైనా షేర్ చేస్తాం మనం వాళ్ళకి ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ లాంటివి ఏమన్నా? అదేం అవసరం లేదు, ఇగ్నోర్ చేయొచ్చు. జస్ట్ ఏమైనా ఓకే మ్యామ్. ఓకే 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 మ్యామ్. ఓకే ఓకే. సో మిగిలిన వాళ్ళకి ఆ యూట్యూబ్ చూసుకుంటారు, 100 వరకు అయితే మీరు కవర్ చేస్తే సరిపోతుంది. ఎస్ మ్యామ్, 95 ఉన్నారు. ఓకే 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 మ్యామ్. ఓకే ఓకే మ్యామ్. సరే. ఎస్ మ్యామ్. ఓకే. బట్ ఈ యూట్యూబ్ షేరింగ్ అయితే ఉండాలి మేడం. యూట్యూబ్ కావాలంటే చెప్పండి. సో నేను ఆన్లోనే ఉండాలి. ఉమ్, సరే మేడం. ఓకే ఓకే.
Good evening, one and all. I think I'm audible. You can put it in the chat box. Am I audible? Okay, then fine. Thank you. Welcome to this free session on the identify the problem and to the data analysis part. Hope there is a combination of students as well as the research scholars. And today I'm the guest speaker over here. On behalf of EDUCA, I'm giving the lecture for 2 days, that is today and tomorrow. How many of you are the research scholars? Just I would like to know. You can raise your hands or you can put it in the chat box so that I can just understand how many are there. Okay, one. Uh, mm-hmm. Okay. 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 Fine. I think this is more helpful for to you all researchers from different universities you are. Okay. Then let us start the session. What do you mean by research actually? What do you understand by research? Any idea? What is research? Probably you are into first, second, third stage or some stage you will be. Is it not?
From different universities.
Anybody?
Okay. Then let us start the session.
What is research?
What do you mean
No
by
idea?
research
You can
actually?
give
What do you
your
understand by
idea about what is research.
any idea?
ఓకే
What is research? Probably you are in the first, second, third stage or stage you will be.
No one is giving. Are you serious about? Yes or no?
What is research?
Okay. Okay, fine. This is Dr. Sukanya. I'm the director as well as the co-founder of We Consultants. It's already there in the tag over there. I've been into the academics since 30 years. Then I'm M.Com, MBA and PhD in Human Resource Management. I worked in 3 institutions on same pattern of this, what do you call, as a professor as well as a lecturer, professor, HOD, and as a dean. Then I have resigned. I started my own consultancy, and also I offer lectures to the other EDUCA like consultants. I'll do offline, online, and FDPs, MDPs, as well as project works for the students. Okay, today's session is about how to identify the problem. What is the research? Yes, research is a systematic, creative. Somebody has written. That's great. Let us go into detail about the research. Fine.
Okay, today's session is about how to identify the problem. What is the research?
Now you can see the.
Creative. Somebody has written. That's great. Let us
Can you see this
go into
PPT?
detail about the
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So these are the contents. Today, what I'm going to today and tomorrow, which I'm going to. How many of you already attended my sessions who are familiar with my sessions? Anybody is there here? Because since I have conducted 45 FDPs and MDPs on the research methodology.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody over here attended
So
my
these are the
sessions earlier?
today what I'm going to today and tomorrow which I'm going to.
Very good.
How many of you already
Okay.
attended my sessions
Very
who
good.
are familiar with my
Okay, okay. There are there.
Anybody is there here?
Again, they're
Because since
again
I have
joining
conducted 45
and want to listen to
FDPs
my lecture.
and
That's great.
MDPs
Thank
on
you.
the
Thank you
research
so much.
methodology.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody over
Okay.
here attended my sessions earlier?
Now, today I'm going to talk about
Very good. How many of you
the
already
research
attended my
and
sessions?
how the research is going to be
There are
and what is
there are
research,
many
what are the
again there
types of different types of research
want to
process,
listen to
how
my
to
lecture.
identify the topic, review of literature, problem identification, framing research questions, okay, as well as objectives by identifying the variables and framing hypothesis. Before we do all these things, we should know actually how to start a research, how to identify the problem, how to frame the objectives, what is the connectivity between these. That is very, very important. Okay. So, in this way of understanding, we should understand how these are important researches. Most of you people also know that some of you have started and also you might have gone to some extent, but after that, what happened? You are not able to do it, then you close down, shift to the another, like that we have seen, right? Is it not? Some of them have also done. Now, in this way, research definition and other things
Wait later.
up to the objectives and identifying, let us see that how far I can complete today.
Wait later, Eva.
These are the contents which I am going to talk about. Okay. When we talk about concept of research here, research is an art of scientific investigation.
Go.
Why we do research with specific purpose and systematic efforts with a careful investigation and inquiry, especially to search for the new facts. Any branch of knowledge or research is a purposeful
When we talk
investigation.
about concept of
It
research,
provides a structure
research
for
is an art of
decision making.
scientific investigation.
So, research
Why
process
we
is the
do
process of
research
searching
with
for
specific
knowledge.
purpose and
So,
systematic
research is a
efforts
scientific and
with a
systematic search
careful
for pertinent
investigation and
information on
inquiry,
the
especially
specific
to
topic.
search for the new
Then,
facts.
how you define the
Any branch
research?
of knowledge.
As it is already mentioned, it's a systematic,
It
controlled,
provides
empirical,
structure.
and critical investigation of
So
hypothetical propositions about presumed relation among the
research is a
natural
scientific
phenomena.
and systematic
So,
search
what is important
and
for this
inquiry
is first you have to define, redefine the problems,
how you define the
formulating
research.
hypothesis
As it is
or
already
suggested
mentioned,
solutions,
it's a
then
systematic
data collection, organize it,
and critical
evaluate the data,
investigation of
then making
hypothetical
deductions and reaching
propositions
conclusions,
about
and
presumed relation of
lastly,
the
testing the conclusions and determine whether it is
what
fit
is
for
important for
formulating
this
hypothesis or
to
not.
define
That is what research is. It is a systematic. It's not like just like whatever you like to do. It is a very systematic research. Then, before we go with that, how many types of research are there? We have to see. So, when we talk about the types of research, first is fundamental research. This is also called basic research. So, what is fundamental research? also called pure research. So, this research carried out to increase understanding of fundamental principles. It is not intended to yield immediate practical benefits, but it will take long time and it is going to be very curious arising out of it. And pure research will be for the long term and it want to check twice, thrice, and they test it, then only they can apply it. Okay. So, descriptive research. Second is descriptive research. First is fundamental, basic, and long term. Second research type is descriptive research. This is used to describe the characteristics of a population. It only tells about how they are. Now, Western side, what is their Western, the characteristics of population and what is their phenomena. So, it tells about the characteristics. It also does not answer any how, when, why, but it tells how they are and how, what they are, what they are doing, what is about, describes entire population and entire phenomena. This is also very important. If you don't know the phenomena, if you don't know the population, then it is going to be very difficult. So that is what descriptive research. And third one is historical research. What is this historical research? It talks about the history, old census, old forms, then historical documents. Like historical research, it will dig the historical history and the research, and it talks about how they are going to work out on, with the help of the historical research. If you know that the historical research, when we talk
Okay.
about like in COVID, when COVID has come, then
Any
they say Spanish flu
disturbance?
has come in 1920. Oh, then COVID 20, 19 and 20. Then they have years it has come. So this is how history or historical research is also very, very important. Next is fourth is applied research. It is a systematic inquiry of involving practical application of science and deals with solving practical problems and generally employs empirical methodologies. That means application. When we talk about the qualitative research, is a method of inquiry about quality. For qualitative research, you have the ranking method. You have to rank it and then you'll understand how much you'll be liking. Next is quantitative research. This is about a quantity which you are going to measure it by using the statistical and mathematical computational techniques. Okay. So the objective of quantitative research is to develop and employ the mathematical models. Okay. These theories or hypotheses pertaining to phenomena. So the process of measurement is central to quantitative research because it provides the fundamental connection between empirical observation and mathematical expression. Okay. So this is how, which is very, very important.
Recording in progress.
Next is analytical research, which is the research utilizes critical thinking to find out facts about a given topic, and from the answers obtained develop new and useful ways of doing things. So this is analytical, means critical thinking means thinking out of box. That is called the critical thinking, analytical thinking. Next is empirical research. You are going to directly, means direct or indirect observation of experience. Empirically, you are going to observe, go out and analyze quantitatively as well as qualitatively. So these are the 9 types of research, which is very important. You should know what type of research you are doing. So first select yourself where I am, which type of research I am doing. Is it qualitative, quantitative, or mixed together? You can have any mix. Not necessarily you should do only one type. You can have a qualitative, quantitative, historical, descriptive, qualitative, quantitative. Okay, it is up to what you are doing, you should be able to tell. Next is what is the aim? The term research aim is usually refers to the main goal. So you have to know what you are going to do it. What is the main aim? Investigate the factors which are associated with the something which is there. So you have to have what is the aim of doing it. Next is there are 2 types of research. One is inductive research and deductive research. So when we talk about inductive research, so when there is a little or to no existing literature on the topic, then you can say that you'll conduct the this type of research. Okay. So when we talk about what type of research is this is inductive. Existing literature is not there and you are not able to get the information, then you have to go with the inductive research. So because there is no theory to test. So for this, there are 3 stages to conduct the inductive research. Suppose some of them say, Madam, I don't have any literature review, then what should I do? Then you can go for this. First is observation. So you have to observe what is going on and how you are going to do it. So when you are going observation, then you have to seek the patterns, then develop a theory of general. So these are the 3 stages where inductive research will be there. So in the under observation, suppose I would like to take only one example, I cannot take 3. Elephants depend on water to exist. Then they'll observe. All observed animals depend on water to exist. Then they develop a theory, all biological life depends on water, not only elephants. Then when this is there, you have to prove it. How to prove? You have to do the, once a theory is prepared, you have to do the deductive research. So when we talk about deductive research, what is deductive research? You always start with a theory is usually the result of inductive research. So reasoning deductive means testing the theories. You have to test the theory whether it is really or not, or just like that. So you have to check it and do it. For that, you have 4 stages. First is start with an existing theory and create a problem statement. So you take falsifiable hypothesis and based on existing theory. Then when we talk about if passengers fly with all land mammals depend on water to exist. Only one I am taking. Then you have to prove it. Really? Is it? Then you say, collect the data. Yes, study all land mammal species to see if they depend on water. Yes, they have analyzed. Yes, all mammals will depend on water. Then they prove it, saying that, oh, all are going to be there. And all mammal species depend on water, you are supporting the hypothesis. If they are not depending, then you can say reject the hypothesis. That is about the inductive research and the deductive research. Okay. So you must know whether your review of literature is existing or not existing. If not existing, inductive research. If it is existing, deductive research. It will be easy for you to frame the hypothesis, objectives, hypothesis, and proving the hypothesis. Then you have qualitative and quantitative research. What is this qualitative and quantitative research when we talk about? Simply put, qualitative research focus on textual, visual, and audio-based data. So when we talk about this, how we are going to do it? That is the textual, visual, and audio-based data. Quantitative means it focus on the numerical. I request all the participants, please mute.
To research approach industrial deductive.
Hello. Please keep your mics mute. Okay. Then you have to see whether it is qualitative or quantitative. Then what's the relevance of qualitative and quantitative when we talk about here? Here, qualitative research. I request all the participants, please mute. Okay. So when we talk about the relevance here, when we talk about the qualitative, these inductive approaches are usually used within qualitative research because they don't have proper database, the existing literature. Then quantitative research tends to reflect a deductive approach. So this is about how the qualitative and quantitative research will be taken place. Okay. Then we have to see here. Okay. Then here, when we talk about qualitative, quantitative, this is very important from the point of view of the social sciences, qualitative or quantitative. Then we'll see what type of strategy yours, research strategy. So introducing research strategy is this layer of research onion details about it's a you call it as a Soundarans onion research. It talks about uh, ex- different approaches you have, different research strategies you have. What are they? First is experimental research. So what do you mean by experimental research? Here, when we talk about experimental, you are going to experiment on one variable with another variable, independent to the dependent variable. How it is going to work? Is there any change? Controlled environment. You have a experimental research. These research is mostly used in sciences, life sciences, and they'll be doing this type of research. Next is action research. This is about the practical setting. You want to see how they'll express in the classroom or in a hospital or in a workplace, how they'll oppose the controlled environments. In a lab, you are going to see their action. Focus on the participants, okay, within the real world. Then the participant action research will be, you call it as a then you have a case study research. All of you know about a detailed, in-depth study of single subject. Only you talk about one person, case study, or one unit, case study, one organization, case study. Like you can have any type and you will be studying in depth of that right from the beginning, right from the perception of that organization till how it has grown. Suppose example Tata's, Birla's, then you can also have about Ambani's, how you can have a case study of that. Sadhguru also you can have a case study. Something like detail. Then you have a grounded research. What is this grounded research? It talks about the data speak for itself. Like in other words, the grounded theory data, when we talk about a development of new theory, model or a framework, from the day they dig it and they will theory will be taken into consideration. So that means a grounded theory is typically qualitative, although it can also be quantitative because you are going to prepare the base of it. So that is what you call it as grounded theory. Next is ethnography. Ethnography means here you are observing the people in their natural environment. Suppose you are going to the what do you call to tribal areas, and you are going to have their cultural interactions. Then you want to see what is the ethnography, capture the subject experiences of the participants, and what is the interaction among them, what is their language, how they behave, what is the Indian culture, heritage, customs, traditions. All this you come under the ethnography. Some people who are doing in tribal areas go to that. You have to go there and do it. You cannot sit online and do I'm doing ethnography research. No, you have to go and do it. Okay. Then archival research. What is this? Is an archival research strategy draws from materials that already exist. And the meaning is that established through a review of existing data. So this method is particularly well suited for historical research. Why? Because it is beliefs about so-called supernatural phenomena in medieval period. So for history people, you want to know, you can see this archival research, and they can use this type of manuscript records, how they have done, and what their way of living, all that.
చెప్పండి
If
చెప్పండి
they're
అది
interested in
ఫైవ్ హండ్రెడ్
that,
మెంబర్స్
they can
కాబట్టి
do
థౌసండ్
this type
నేను
of
అందుకోసం
research. Okay.
అందుకోసం అంటే చెప్పండి.
Then you have a choice. Which method you want to do when you are going to
యాక్సెప్ట్
collect the
చేశారా?
data?
సో
You
అది
want to
లింక్
do
నేను
qualitative
ఫైల్
or
ఫైల్
quantitative?
లేదు.
You can also have three types of options. Mono means you use only one method, either qualitative or
పీడిఎఫ్
quantitative.
కాదు మీ దాంట్లో
Or
ఫైల్
you
పంపించండి.
can have mixed, both qualitative and
అదే
quantitative.
ఇది ఫైల్ ఇది
Third is
పీపీటీ
multi-method,
పంపించండి. ఇది
all together. Any other method is also there, you
లేదు
put
నాకు
it
లింక్
that method
వచ్చింది
also.
డాక్యుమెంట్ రాలేదు.
So that is what it is up to your choice, what method you are going to use.
మీకు దేంట్లోకి
Okay.
పంపిస్తే వాట్సాప్
Multi-approach means here the range of approaches will be there.
మీరు డబ్ల్యూపీఎస్ ఆఫీస్
Thematic
ఎక్సెప్ట్ చేయకుండా
analysis,
ఫైల్
content
మేనేజర్ పంపించండి.
analysis,
ఫైల్
we are going to go
మేనేజర్
in
పంపించండి.
detail about it. Huh? So then also you
అదే
have
ఫోన్ చేసినా
time
సరే
horizon.
ఫైల్
What type of
మేనేజర్ కానీ ఫైల్
this
మేనేజర్
thing you are going
మేనేజర్
to have?
పంపించండి వస్తారు
Cross-sectional, longitudinal,
ఫోన్
which horizon? That is very, very important.
టైప్
Time
చేయండి ఫైల్
horizon also
మేనేజర్
you
అంటే
have to
వస్తుంది
take into
ఆప్షన్
consideration.
అక్కడ నుండి
Next is
పంపించండి.
techniques and procedures. What type of technique you are using?
అర్థమైందా?
What is the procedure? It's very easy, very
ఫైల్
difficult to understand because these are all systematic here. Okay.
కాలేదు
So this
ఆకలి
is
బాగా
how when
అవుతుంది
we
ఎప్పుడో
talk about
తినాలండి.
how they are going to work, what you are going to use. Okay. So here when we talk about systematic the techniques which are, you have to identify which type of data you are collecting, qualitative, quantitative, and you are using which method, and what type of sample you are using, take into consideration for the sample size, which type of sample. All this is very, very important. Okay. Next, we'll move on to the how the data which is going to analyze. Most of the people, recently I got thesis from one university because I do correct thesis also. I'm into the research methodology teaching since I can say 15 years because I have completed my PhD in 2010. Now almost all 15 plus years I've done my PhD. Then I have guided 4 students, research scholars. They have also awarded with the PhD degrees. Since I am the board member, also I receive some IGNO, Indira Gandhi University, no, evaluation, paper setter, all that I have so many degrees. So what will happen when we talk about this, uh, correcting the thesis? They don't do any work. Simply what they'll do, all are in bar diagram, or they are into what you call what do you call they put it in a mean median measures of central tendency. Okay. No, you must properly attend, do the data analysis part. That is very, very important. Next is, this is what when we talk about how the research we have to start and how we are going to identify where we are. That is very, very important. Okay. So now we'll see the identify the problem. See, I'm the speaker. You find out with EDUCA. In between, don't ask this type of chats. Understand? So I'm only the speaker here. I'm just giving this. Only for certificate purpose you are joining, you ask EDUCA EBIN. And the contact numbers are there on that flyer, no? That one you can say. Okay, identifying research problem. A research problem refers to the few unsolved questions that are present in the mind of researcher. Then the experience of either a practical or theoretical situation. So research problems as interrogative statements on the behavior or relationship between variables relating to any particular discipline and the inquisitive in nature. So how to identify the problem? What do you understand? Identification means you have some process for identification. Sorry. How to formulate it? Then this is the process you have to follow. Formulating the research problem, extensive literature review, for framing objectives, development of working hypothesis, prepare the research design, measurement scale, determining the sample design, collecting the data, analysis of data, hypothesis testing, generalizations and interpretations. Then preparation of the report or the thesis. Then you have a technique in defining the research problem. How? First, understanding the nature of the problem. Then surveying the available literature. Identifying the gaps from the literature. Framing the research questions. Turn the research questions into objectives and frame hypothesis. Okay? So suppose if here it is one thesis, this is my student has done. A woman bank employees' attitude towards glass ceiling effect in career development. So with reference to this district. Okay then. Then when we saw that here the study is glass ceiling, that means on what basis? Here when we talk about it is on the gender diversity and the objectives he framed as demographic profile of women bank employees. Then analyze the women bank employees attitude. Also they have formed formulating factors. What are the different factors? Then they want to, another objective is evaluate the impact of the women employees' attitude towards glass ceiling. Compare the glass ceiling women among women employees in public and private sector. These are the objectives. Then hypothesis. Here, when they said there is no significant association between women bank employees' attitude toward glass ceiling with respect to work experience and job level. No significant means here when talk about null hypothesis. Null hypothesis says no, there is no glass ceiling, everything is all right. But if you prove it, then there is a glass ceiling. Then second is there is no significant level of women employees' attitude towards glass ceiling. Saying no attitude, they are all perfect. Like that, whenever no significant means null hypothesis. 1, 2, 3, 4. If there is significance, then you can say, yes, alternative hypothesis. That means you are proving this is wrong. Null hypothesis is wrong. This is what a hypothesis talks about. Most of the people, it is very difficult for them to understand how to frame a hypothesis. See, one thing I'm telling you, the framing hypothesis was on the basis of how you frame the hypothesis depends upon the objectives. So how the objectives are there, based on that only hypothesis is going to be framed. Then you have to research objectives. Then you have research questions. Then you have, this is what you can have it. These are all hypotheses how you can frame. These are all examples I'm giving. Then hypothesis testing. So what are the characteristics of good hypothesis? Hypothesis should be specific and precise. Hypothesis should be capable of testing. It should be capable of testing. When you are able to test it, it should be capable of testing here. Okay. So here when we talk about, you have to have that into that Then it should be limited in scope, okay? And also it should be stated as far as possible in most simple terms. Then it should be consistent with most unknown facts. Then it should be amenable to testing with reasonable time. So these are the very, very important things you have to keep it in your mind. Then next here when we talk about research design and exploratory and descriptive. See, for everything you must have a design. For when you're constructing a house, you have a design, no? Like that. A research also should have a design. It's a blueprint when we talk about. So how it designs, it's like a blueprint. You have to have a rough outline, research framework you call. Why you should have? Because to resolve many shortcomings before they start the study. So you have to have a proper review of literature. Then everything you have to segregate, have an outline. Then what are the elements of research design? It should be accurate, techniques to be implemented, method applied, type of research methodology, probable objections for research, and you have a setting research study. Then also the timeline. Okay. So these are the very, very important things you have to keep in your mind. Then you have a research steps in research design. Step number 1, what is the aim and approach? Step number 2, choose the type of research design. That is 3, population and sampling method. 4 is data analysis. 5th is data collection procedures. Okay, then you have analysis part. So this is how you have to have it. Now, if you look at this, do all these houses have the same design? No, no. So they have their own design. So everybody, some people they copy somebody's research. Don't do that type of. You have your own. Research is like your own baby. You have to take care of your own baby. And don't give your baby to others to design it. So this is for the research design. Design talks about it's not same. Depends upon how much you are going to keep. So there are 3 types of research: exploratory research, descriptive research, explanatory research. Exploratory. It doesn't have any research questions. It investigates the research questions and not previously been studied in depth. Exploratory is a qualitative in nature, very oftenly quantitative as well, but it is more of qualitative. And the framework of exploratory is divided into 2: primary research, secondary research. So what is primary research? Doing surveys, interviews, conducting focus groups, observations. A secondary is research, online research, literature review, a case study research, which is secondary data which is available already. As like this, you can conduct the research and get the information. So when we talk about exploratory research here, data collection process is challenging for some reason because you are exploring for the first time. It is very difficult to do it. Then you have an example here when we talk about, suppose if your university dining hall, they want to introduce vegan food. So most of the people know in vegan, if they are vegan, no, they want how they are going to have it, uh, whether to introduce or not. Nowadays it's a fashion. People have got fashion. They want to be vegans. Is it not? So what they have to do? You are going to explore it. Then exploratory research questions. Here are some examples. What effect does using a digital notebook have on attention span of middle schoolers? Instead of carrying so huge books, why don't they have a digital notebook? Is it a new idea? Is it a good idea? You are exploring for the first time. Second thing is mental health for undergraduates. That also you can see. Then outcomes are associated with authoritative parenting. If it is authoritative parenting, what is the result? So these are the things you can explore it. How you are going to explore? That is what experiments, experience survey, focus groups, analysis of insights, humiliating cases, survey of literature. Then you can also have a survey which is conducted. Okay. So when we talk about that is exploratory research. Then the second is descriptive research. What is descriptive research? When we talk about descriptive research, here it is describes, everything is in the nutshell. Design the question how the problem can be solved. This design is solution oriented, are started after the problem and hypotheses have been well identified and formulated. Okay. So when we talk about here, how you are going to do it, how it is going to happen, and it is not so easy. Descriptive also, it has its own problem. So when we talk about the descriptive, what is the objective of the descriptive research? We have to describe first. That is very, very important. Then when we talk about this, you have the descriptive research, you have people, groups, organizations, environments, and addressing who, what, when, where, and how questions are going to be. And which you are going to conduct in two ways. One is longitudinal design, cross-sectional design. And under cross-sectional design, single cross-sectional design, then multiple cross-sectional design. So when we have this longitudinal, what is longitudinal design? A type of research design involving a fixed sample for population elements measured repeatedly. Same sample, suppose class A, first A, and you are measuring the same for 3 times on different intervals. That is called longitudinal study. Cross-sectional means different, and you are not repeating it with the same people. You are going to have a different. You have a single cross-sectional and multiple cross-sectional. So single means only one sample. Multiple means with many samples. That is what the difference between when we talk about a cross-sectional. Okay. So this is how when we talk about two designs are in the descriptive. Then here when we talk more about causal research, this is also explanatory. What is the cause and effect? The objective of causal research is to test hypotheses about cause and effect relationship. Why the problem? Marketing research to test hypothesis, and causal research seeks to identify cause and effect. And when something causes an effect, it means it brings in about or makes it happen. So the effect is the outcome. Rain causes grass to get wet. Rain is the cause and wet grass is the effect. Then here when we talk about how this research, causal research will design. Association of variation, sequence of events, absence of other factors. Why the reason is here? So in this, what is association of variation? That means how much the presence and absence of the event which causes the other event, affects the other. Sequence is repeatedly, the event is repeated, that might be the cause. Suppose 5 days you have gone out, 5 days you got drenched in rain, you got fever. That is what sequence of events. And the severity, how the degree of causality, is it absolute, is it conditional, is it contributory? You have to see the severity. And it is, yes, necessary, it is, effect is there, but the effect is there, but it is weakest form. How strong they are, that you have to see. Then what is the features of good design? How can you say it is a very good design? A good design is often characterized by adjectives like flexible, appropriate, efficient, economical, and so on. Then only you can say it is a good research. Okay. Then you can also say that this is very, very important. A research design generally comprises the following details. Statement of the problem of research, specific questions to be answered, significance of the problem, objectives of research study, assumptions, kinds and sources of gathering data, methods of gathering data, data gathering instruments, analysis and interpretation. Lastly, you can say resources and time scale, budget. So far we have seen how to identify, how to frame objectives, how to analyze the hypothesis, how to frame the hypothesis, and we have to see whether it is there or important or not. All this we have seen. Okay, so far we have done that, but when we talk about when we know the objective, when we know the hypothesis, what are the variables which are going to be measured? First, you have to have measuring scale. How do you measure? Where do you measure? First, you have to prepare a questionnaire. If you want to prepare a questionnaire, first you must know what type of questions are going to be framed. So, for the questions, you have to see what are the objectives. Each objectives will be designed into four questions, and you have to frame the questions based on your objectives and hypothesis. That is a connection between problem and framing the research questions, framing objectives, framing hypothesis, then framing the questionnaire. This is how the interdependency. Okay. So then how you are going to measure? See, for everything you have to measure, no? To prove hypothesis, unless you move. Suppose how tall you are. You can't just say, you are 6 feet. Let me measure then whether you are 6 feet or less than 6 feet. If you measure only, you will come to know, oh, he is 6 feet or more than 6 feet or less than 6 feet. Understand? Quantitative you can measure. But qualitative, how do you measure? Suppose you go to Pizza Hut. There you will see, oh, nice pizza. You have the pizza. Then you will understand, oh, how much tasty it is. When we talk about taste-wise, there is a fixed number of objectives to frame. Yes, maximum 5, not more than 5. Because one of my student, I'm answering, somebody has put, is there a fixed number to objectives to frame? Yes, because you can't frame the objectives as you like. When you're framing 10 objectives, you can have 4 hypotheses, not necessarily all 10 objectives should turn into hypotheses. What is hypothesis? You want to test the variables. If the variables are measurable, then only you can have hypothesis. What is minimum means? Minimum, maximum, I can say minimum 4, maximum 6, not more than that. My student, she has done 21 objectives, 21 hypotheses. I said, I'm sorry, this is not the way, and just club it, then minimum 4, maximum 6, not more than that. Okay. Okay, then we will go to the how to measuring. And if you go to Pizza Hut and you will understand, you will ask, after eating pizza, Abba, you felt so, Abba, it's so sumptuous. Then immediately that fellow will ask feedback. Madam, how did you feel pizza? Oh, it's great, sumptuous. That is quality. You're saying sumptuous, great and all. Will you rate it? I said, yeah, I'll give 5 out of 5. Then that is what you are going to measure the qualitative behavior or the feeling, happiness, emotions. How do you measure emotions? Only through rating. You have to give ratings. Understand? That is how measurement of scale fundamentals you have here. So we have the measurement scale overview, nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, and ratio scale. They are called primary scales of measurement. So when we talk about nominal scale, this is only for namesake, only identification. Suppose here I am going to show one measurement. This is only a symbolical characteristic, one-to-one respondent, and rules not change over the object. How you are going to measure it? This is what primary scales. In a nutshell, you can understand. I'll explain with this one particular diagram all 4 scales. A scale, a nominal, which is numbers which are assigned to the runners. Number 7, number 8, number 3. Now we all have PAN number, identification number, license number, then we have Aadhaar card number. They're all unique, no? Same number anybody has? No. That is what nominal. Only to identify your identification, you are given this number. Second is ordinal. To know these runners, who got first, who got second, who got third, then based on the interval scale, they are going to place in order, first, second, third. Okay? So nominal, ordinal, these two are called categorical variables. They are called categorical variables. You will not do much calculations on this. You will not give any parametric test on this. They are only meant for non-parametric test. And the interval and ratio, these are metric. Metric means measurable. Interval scale is measurable. On the point of 0 to 1 scale, 10 to scale, who got first? 9.6 out of 10 means first fellow. He was placed first. And here, second place who got? When we talk about, he got 9.1. Third place, 8.2 marks out of 10. So like that he was placed. And the ratio is the finish at 0 starts with the 0, and it talks about at what point of time he has finished. So early finished because only 13.4 minutes he could finish. That's why he won the first place. Second fellow, then 14.1, he stood in the second place. And the third one is 15. So what you meant is interval scale and ratio scale, they both are metric in nature, measurable, which is called measurable in nature. You can measure it. Understand? So this is what when we talk about measuring the scale. Okay. So this is what interval scale and the ratio scale, which you call it as the interval and ratio, which is metric in nature, measurable. Nominal and ordinal is non-metric. They are only categorical. Understand? I hope you have understood. And these are the things which is in detail. These are the same thing which I have done here. Not much, qualitative, quantitative. And the last nutshell is, for nominal scale, what are the characteristics? Identify the numbers and classify objects. So what are the examples for this? Social security numbers, like football players. Marketing examples, brand stores, type of stores. What statistics can you use? Percentile, that's all. Mode, median. Chi-square test if it is inferential. Ordinal scale, numbers indicate the relative positions. And it is quality ranking. Who got first, second, third, like that. You use here percentile and median. And you use rank order correlation and Friedman ANOVA. Interval scale, differences between objects. And here when we talk about attitudes, temperature, range, mean, standard deviation, you will be using. And product movement. Ratio means 0 point is fixed. Ratios of scale. Values can be compared. Okay. So here we talk about age, sales, income, cost, all this. So here when we talk about what type of test we can use. See, based on the scales which you are using, your test will be calculated. Your test will be conducted. Okay, you are measuring this question with nominal scale. You are measuring this question with ordinal scale. You are measuring this question with interval scale. And also you are measuring this particular question with ratio scale. Then what type of test you are going to use, which is given. That is more important. Everyone should understand it. Don't use as you like it. Nowadays, lot of fashion is going on SEM, structural equation modeling. What is SEM means? This they'll tell, but how you have to do, what to do, you have to do correlation, regression, then you have to do factor analysis. Then if dimension reduction is there, then you have to go for SEM. The how you have to go, it's very difficult for them to understand. It's not so easy. Okay. Next is when we talk about measuring variables. Most of the people, madam, what is variable? How to measure the variable? Now you have dependent variable, independent variable. I've seen some pieces without variables, without hypothesis, they just proved it. Oh my God, I said, I'm sorry to correct this. I cannot award any degree. They tried to bribe me. I said, I don't want any money. I returned that, give it to somebody. But ultimately, he was awarded with a PhD. Nowadays, PhD has become fashion. Without learning, you can get a PhD. I'm not joking it. I've seen many people, they're doing it. Everything is gone. You can say me, madam, who is having truth, morals? See, we are into education sector. Those are in academics. Be truthful with what we are going to teach to our children. Not only to our children, to the outside people also. We should be very truthful. Teacher is a model. Model for the truth. Model for the, we can say, how you are going to stand. And you are a role model to everyone. They should admire at you. Ethics, your moral values you have to have. Without this, don't come into teaching. I'm extremely sorry nowadays the teaching which is going on. That is only the reason I left when I was not even, I'm not retired actually. My age is not below 60 only, but I have just resigned that institute because I cannot do any wrong work. At the age of 52, I left. I started my own, but God has given me some strength to do on my own. I'm very happy with this, what I'm getting. Okay, so this continuous and discrete variables are there. What are these? And how you are going to identify this? You have a separate variables, extraneous variables. They are independent variables, not related to purpose of the study. And these dependent variable termed as extraneous variable, which will get affected. That means they are not in the study, but they get affected. The dependent variable will get affected with the extraneous variable. So then you have control variables. You have to identify. Then you have confounded relationship. Then you have research hypothesis. Then you have experimental, non-experimental hypothesis, testing the research. Then you have training program to the students. Example, you do experiment before experiment, after experiment. How the progress. ANOVA you'll be doing analysis of variance. Okay, t-test you can do before after. ANOVA you can do before after. Experimental and control groups. So it's a deep depth. Then you have to have a treatments, experiment. Then you have to how the experimental groups will be taken place. Then you have attitude behavior rating scales. There are affective with deals with a person's feelings and emotions. Most of the marketing research people they'll be doing marketing who are into marketing, no, they'll be doing this type of research. We call it as cognitive affective behavioral research. What is this? Is researchers have developed a variety of attitude rating scales to measure intensity of attitude affective. Okay. So when these scales are many, require a respondent to rank, rate, sort, and choose when we assess an attitude. You have the scales in unidimensional, one dimension, multi-dimensional, many dimensional. You can measure it, the attitude. But when you are measuring it, how you are going to do? First is ranking. You must do ranking, then you can measure it. Then you have next is rating. How do you rate it? Which one comes first? Which one comes second? Then third is sorting. How you are going to divide. Then you have choice. Then you have categories. So these are the basis for when you're doing measuring the attitude scales. So first is rating scale. You rate it on a graphic ratings. Good, not good, not at all. Which is graph you have, you'll be doing it. Sliding will be there. So here in the graph, you can say unhappy, happy, neither nor. Then with McDonald's, then you have to tick which one it is. That is, you are giving a graphing rate scales. Next is itemized rating scales. Each item, extremely, you are not, there you have only 3 choice. Here you have big choice. And you can measure very clearly how the rating scale, how do you rate. Okay, here you have to rate either 3, 4, 5, 6. But in graphic, you can also have 4.5, 5.5. That is the difference between rating and graphing. Then rank order scales, you can put it in order. Which one first, which one second, which one third. This is how. Suppose the brand is given Sony Pixar, then iPhone plus Samsung. Which one do you rank? Elegant design. You can put it in that ranking. Okay, like that. Paired comparisons. Which is more? Now, Big Mac is better or Whopper is better? They are the same. You have to give. Comparative. Paired comparisons. Then you have to use t-test, paired test. Constant sum scales means you will be rating it. Out of 100, how do you rate for well-made, well-designed, long battery life, easy to use? Has a lot of applications. You measure it and you add it. Then you have semantic differential scales. So here you'll be using staple scale. Then you have Likert scale. This is a very famous scale. All of them, they'll be using Likert scale. Strongly agree to the strongly disagree. And you can have 6-point scale, 7-point variant also, 9 and 11 also you can have. It depends upon them. Okay, it is so many things you have to consider while selecting the scales. First is objectives of research, whether selected scales will be achieve the research objectives or not, you have to check. Then, is it qualitative or quantitative? Which is suitable? Don't just you like it, don't put it like that. Then, by interviewing, self-administered questions are there. How do you rate this self-administered question? Through email. That also you have to look into the position. Then you have to have clarity. There are 8 steps in this. Clarity, what to measure, what to be measured. Okay. Select scale formats. Generate a pool of items. Have others critique the pool of items. Consider adding items. Then pre-test the instrument. Drop redundant items. Optimize the scale. Then you have balanced versus unbalanced scale. That means research must decide whether employ balanced or unbalanced. Balanced means equal number of positive and negative. Unbalanced means 50% that, 50% this, and you have a negative 50%, positive 50%. It is up to you how you are going to give. Forced choice also, forced versus non-forced choice. So these are the scales which are very, very important. Now we'll go to the sampling design. Most $1,000,000 question. Most of the most of the researchers will do mistake in collecting the responses from the sample. You are very clearly in scope of study you mentioned, my sample study is confined to Tamil Nadu, Coimbatore, suppose, Coimbatore, some area. And you have to collect data only from Coimbatore, no? No. They prepare a Google form. And what they'll do, no, in the Google form, they send to everyone. And they say that, please, I'm doing research. I'll keep it confidential. And I'm doing on women apparels. And women, please fill the form. Suppose if it goes to men, what he will do? They'll not mention. So when you talk about when you're collecting the data, it should be sent to within Tamil Nadu, within that scope of study, not beyond Tamil Nadu or beyond the place which is beyond scope of study. That is what sampling. Okay. Then what is sample? How do you define sampling? So with this sampling, we will finish and conclude the session. So measuring some attribute of large, when we talk about here, what is sample? How do you measure it? A large infinite group of elements by studying only a part of that group is referred as sampling. Okay. Why we have to do sampling? Time taken for the study, cost involved, physical impossibility of complete enumeration, practical infeasibility of complete enumeration, enough reliability of inference on sampling, then quality of data collected. These are there. Then what is the criteria for a good sample? How can you say it is a good sample? Representativeness, very good representative it should be. Accuracy, unbiased, it should be low or no error. Adequate, the size should be adequate. It should save time. It minimizes costs. Okay, this is all a good sample. Now there are two types of sampling methods. One is non-probability sampling and non-probability sampling. So what is probability sampling? Let us see. A probability sampling means all elements have an equal chance of being selected. The chance of them being selected can be calculated. Okay, that means suppose you have in a college, there are 7,000 students. Only you want to study B.Tech first year students. Then you select the population B.Tech first year. There are 20 sections. In the 20 sections, you want to select each section consists of 100. 20 into 100, 2,000 students. And you require at least 200 students sample. What you will do in probability sampling? Population is fixed, 2,000 people. And from that you want 200 sample. So you will write all the numbers, names of all 2,000 students, and you will put a draw. Then you select randomly. Then you say, oh, 200 is over. That means all 2,000 people got equal chance to be selected. Is it not? That is what probability sampling. But non-probability, no, selection on availability. You go, how many students are 2,000, but all are not present. Okay, who are there? Just to select 10 people and make a selection of sample. Non-probability. You are not worried about the population strength. You are not worried about your only who are available. You are taking from them. You are not calculating the population. You are not taking into consideration. So simply probability means standard, equal chance, and it with no bias. Non-probable means lot of bias will be there. And some non-probability sampling is not sampling at all. Some people will talk. Only probability sampling only you should take into consideration. Okay, now when we talk about probability, non-probability, simple random sampling. What is simple random means? Here all elements which are present are you can select as a sample and you will have a blind draw. You know, no? When we were small, we used to put chits and we used to pick up like that. Simple random sampling is by using blind draw, we'll select. And when we talk about simple random sampling, here blind draw method you use, then you pick up random and you take as a sample. That's all, very simple. But if the numbers are more, what you will do? This is what simple random. This I can say. There are numbers, you select. Randomly you picked 5 of them. What? Okay. But when we talk about large data, then you use systematic sample. What you do in the systematic is, we calculate sampling interval. Suppose the population list size is, here when we talk about number is 10,000. Then you require 500 sample. 10,000 divided by 500. So 10,000 divided by 500. So how much, what is the sample size here? Sampling interval you will get. So 10,000 divided by 500, how much you will get? 200. Is it 200? Calculate it. Yes, 200 or not? Very calm. Are you sleeping or awake? Hmm? How much you are getting? Nobody is answering.
Don't even.
200 or 20? 20. 10,000 is population. You want here the sample of 500. 10,000 divided by 500, 20. So for every 20, you select the sampling intervals. Start with that 20, 40, 60. So you have to add 20, 20 and take the sample. That is what systematic sampling which is. Okay? Very simple it is. Next, third one is this is what? Sample. Population you have 25. There here sampling interval is 5. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For every 5, that is 5 is the sampling interval. That is what systematic sampling. Next is cluster sampling. Here, what is the cluster sampling? This is called mini populations. Populations divided into groups, clusters. So any of which can be considered as representative sample. So these clusters are mini populations and therefore they are heterogeneous. Heterogeneous means all together, but they are into mini populations. They draw with a random draw and done a selection in the each cluster. Then after the cluster, the area systematically sampled and two common methods will be used. Either simple random sampling or systematic random sampling you can use. Okay, this is what the cluster sampling can be taken into consideration. And the other one is, last one is stratified. This is what clusters. Population in groups A, B, C, D, E. From this you can use any method. Simple random sampling. From B cluster they took 2. From E cluster they have taken 3. They pick the draw like that they have got. Simple random sampling they have used. Okay. This is what cluster. Next is stratified random sampling. Suppose if you do heterogeneous, you don't know there are the mixture of people. One is AO, one is a land engineer, one is a executive, like that. So it is very difficult. Okay. So when we talk about here, how you are going to make a strata. Strata means and the thing is here, what strata they have, each stratified random sampling will be there. They are into homogeneous groups. Homogeneous means it allows us to draw a more representative sample. Hence, if there are more of certain type of item in the population, the sample has more of this type. So when we talk about homogeneous means all executives are one side, all managers are one side. They just all women one side. They are into one strata. They can be when we talk about homogeneous strata, it can be proportional or disproportional. Suppose there are 100 men, only 50 women. Which ratio they follow? 1:2 ratio. Because 100 men, 50 women, no? Proportionately they can take into consideration. So these are the different types of probability sampling. Okay. This is what strata 1, strata 2. From this strata, 3 people have elected. From strata 2, 2 people have taken. Proportionate, 2:3. Then you have non-probability, which is very convenient. What is this non-probability? Convenient sampling. Sampling draw that convenience of the interviewer. People tend to make the selection at the familiar locations and to choose respondents who are like themselves. That is what convenient sampling. Okay. Which is very convenient. Judgment sampling means educated guess, a part of interviewer who should represent the population. Like this, they take some judges will give suggestions. No, you do this, you do that. Then they take the judgmental sample. Then they have a referral sample, snowball. That means they go to one person who is using BMW. Then they'll ask, who is the other person do you know using BMW? Referral. That means snowball sample. They refer one to one, and they get the information. Next is quota. They belong to one particular quota and they'll have from that quota only they'll be interviewing. So these are the different types of samples when we talk about what type of sampling they'll be taking into consideration. Okay. So this is how today's session talks about the sampling. We will finish with the sampling, and here when we talk about cases in selection sample, define the target population, select a sampling frame, then determine if a probability or non-probability sampling method will be chosen, then plan procedure for selecting sampling units. After that, determine sample size. Okay, then select the actual sampling unit. So this is all about the sample, and you have to conduct the field survey. So all your research is based on your questionnaire and how do you rate with measuring scale and what is the sample you have taken and your questionnaire is valid or not. If some questions are not answered, you have to say invalid questionnaire you cannot take into consideration. So these are the procedure when we talk about how you're going to do that. Tomorrow we'll do the methods of selection. So all that's all about today's session. Any doubts?
Dear participants, anyone have doubt, you can ask, unmute and tell to man. If any feedback, please share with ma'am. This is the time for the feedback. If anyone is interested in telling the feedback, one or two feedback, it would be better.
Hello.
Hello.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, audible. Tell me.
Very good evening to ma'am.
Yeah.
It was really very informative and interactive session also. I have completed all this. Still, I learned a lot, and I'm really grateful to you. Like all this structure and whatever you have delivered, it was really uh, helpful for us. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Wish you more classes to attend for your. I didn't attend your class before. I learned a lot, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, welcome.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. I
Yeah.
hope I'm audible.
Yeah.
That was very informative session, ma'am. Although I'm from PhD from a B school, but though I was not able to understand clearly, but this session was so good that I understood very clearly, ma'am.
So
So
you're a
great.
doctorate? You're a doctorate?
Ma'am, I'm a research scholar, ma'am.
Okay. From which university?
I'm from IBS, ma'am, Indian Business School of Hyderabad.
Oh, Hyderabad?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, very good. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Though their way of explaining is very, I feel that was so rigorous. This was so easy for me to learn.
They squeeze you people. They make you people learn more PPT, more articles, 20 pages
They
articles.
they just squeeze us, ma'am. Anything
Yeah,
like
I
anything.
know. Like anything. A, B
Yeah.
side, all sides they'll be squeezing.
Yes, ma'am. And I actually have my this coursework exam on April, and this session is so helpful for me for that.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to attend more sessions like this, ma'am. And if possible, can you share the PPT, ma'am, if possible for you?
That is all organizer has to. I'm only a just resource person. You have to
Okay,
ask
okay,
in the group. I'm not in the group, so I'm only a resource person. You can ask
okay,
him how he is going to give it.
okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Ma'am, Suganya ma'am,
Yeah.
in the beginning of the session, we have another meeting. So I'm taking this session, taking this moment to say welcome speech. So, good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all the participants joining us for this 2 days online workshop on identifying research problem to data analysis. EDUCA Institute for Professional and Career Development. We extend our heartfelt greetings to all UG, PG students, research scholars, and respected faculty members who have joined us today. EDUCA started its journey in the year 2016, and with immense pride and gratitude, we are happy to share that we have successfully completed 10 wonderful years of academic service. Over the years, we have been consistently organizing workshops and webinars every month. In fact, we conduct 2 quality programs every month, ensuring continuing learning opportunities for our academic and research community. Today's session is very special to us. Our respected resource person, Dr. M.Sukanya ma'am, is not just a guest speaker for us, but a valued member of the EDUCA family. Whenever our institute plans initiatives, especially when we decided to provide this session as a free workshop for the benefit of the students, scholars, and faculties, Suganya ma'am has always extended her full support, encouragement, and guidance. Her constant motivation strengthens our mission to provide quality academic enrichment. Ma'am, we are truly grateful for your presence and your continued association with EDUCA. This workshop is designed to provide clear insight into identifying a strong research problem, understanding the process of data analysis, which are crucial steps in academic research. We are confident that this 2 day session will be highly informative and beneficial to all the participants. So there are a few announcements there. There will be no recorded sessions and there will be no e-certificates provided. There will be no e-certificates and no recorded sessions. So, and kindly share this workshop information with your friends, colleagues, faculty, scholars, so that more learners can benefit from our future programs. Now, uh, I extend our gratitude to Suganya ma'am, and we will meet on tomorrow. And thank you, and have a wonderful learning experience ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, Abel. Thank you all. Thank you all. Yeah. Somebody wants to say anything? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank-
We
Okay.
can meet
Yeah.
on tomorrow, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you all. I am really happy that you all liked the session. It's very simple. Research is very simple. In nutshell, you can do it. Don't have any tension with that research. Okay? Then bye bye.